What if I told you? A man's soul doesn't lie when he's in love, and the bedroom is where his unconscious finally speaks. There are 4 sacred behaviors he can't fake. 4 things only emerge when he's bonded beyond ego, beyond persona, beyond desire. In 1947, Carl Jung wrote, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But here's what nobody explains. Those reactions are physical, intimate, and often terrifyingly vulnerable. If you miss them, you may walk away from someone who was destined to awaken you. But are you even watching closely enough to notice? Most people think love in the bedroom is just about chemistry, technique, or compatibility. They chase performance. They judge by pleasure. They count kisses like currency. They waste years mistaking obsession for devotion, confusing routine intimacy with soul-deep reverence. But Jung's Red Book reveals something deeper, something chillingly beautiful. He writes, "The greatest love story is with your own soul, and the beloved is its reflection." In other words, what happens between the sheets isn't just physical. It's archetypal, mythic, alchemical. Like Maya, a 39-year-old client who said, "I thought sex was just sex." Until one night, he paused. He touched my back like it was sacred. And suddenly I cried, not because of pain, but because I felt seen for the first time. Most never get there, because most never understand what to look for. But what if I told you, there are 4 very specific things a man only does in bed when his soul feels safe, seen, and bonded eternally? And what? If you're mistaking routine for real love. Jung discovered synchronicity when he noticed that meaningful coincidences occur when our psyche is aligned with something larger, destiny. This manifests in intimacy as he mirrors your breath unconsciously, like 2 rivers finding the same rhythm. His body begins syncing with yours, even in sleep. You exhale, he exhales, you turn, he turns. It's not mimicry, it's merger. His dreams begin to include you. Leon, a rational skeptic, confessed, "I dreamed she was crying in a blue dress, and the next day she showed up wearing it." Jung called this the alchemy of the psyche crossing time and space. He speaks words you were thinking. It happens once and you laugh. It happens twice, you feel connection. But 3 times, Jung would say the collective unconscious is revealing your shared myth. So ask yourself, has he ever said what you felt before you spoke it? Because if so, his psyche may be merging with yours. Synchronicity reveals the invisible strings that tie souls together. Carl Jung taught that we project our disowned self, our shadow, onto others. But when a man is truly in love, the projection begins to melt. What's left is real and raw. He apologizes during intimacy, not because something went wrong, but because something feels too right. Shame rises. Childhood wounds flare. He whispers, "Are you okay?" because he's terrified of hurting what he now reveres. He breaks down, sometimes without warning. James, 42, cried during intimacy with his wife of 15 years for the first time. "I don't know why," he said, but Jung would, because the shadow dissolves under love's gaze, and when it does, emotions flood. So has he ever looked you in the eye and said, "I'm afraid I'm not enough"? That isn't weakness. It's a sign his shadow trusts your light. Jung's anima, the inner feminine in men, and animus, the inner masculine in women, guide us toward wholeness. When a man truly loves, his anima awakens. He slows down, not as a technique, but as a surrender. He listens, watches, breathes with you. Because his anima teaches him reverence, he asks what you need, not what you want. The ego asks for gratification. The anima asks for attunement. "Do you feel safe?" is the anima speaking through his lips. Now, pause and ask yourself, Has a man ever made you feel like your soul was being undressed more than your body? If so, he may have been guided by something far older than desire. He stares at you after, not before. Most men gaze before intimacy, during foreplay, as seduction. But a man who's in real love, he stares afterward, in silence, like he's trying to memorize the divine. It's not lust, it's reverence, Naomi said. After he finished, he didn't roll over. He looked at me, like I had just given him his own soul back. He only does this when he sees you as home. Repeat it. He only stares afterward when you've become home. What if no man has ever looked at you like that? He shares a childhood story, mid-intimacy. This isn't pillow talk. This is rawness bleeding. Into the moment, Jung said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. When his unconscious feels safe, it opens. You'll hear something like, I used to sleep with the lights on. Or, I haven't told anyone this, but he's not trying to impress you. He's not trying to seduce you. He's letting you into the basement of his psyche. And that's sacred. What story did he whisper when his mask fell? He kisses your scars, not your thighs. The thighs are desire. The scars are devotion. A man in love seeks the wounds, not to fix them, but to love them. Alyssa, who survived spinal surgery, said, I had a scar I always covered. He kissed it without asking, and I finally believed I was beautiful. That kiss? That's not attraction. That's recognition. He's saying, I see your suffering and I stay. Repeat it 3 times. He stays, he sees, he sanctifies. When he touched your pain, did he flinch or melt? He becomes still, utterly, terrifyingly still. Not every moment. In bed is movement. Stillness is harder, scarier. Jung believed stillness is how the soul listens. Ethan said, I used to be all about performance, but with her, I'd just lie there, quiet, peaceful. I didn't need to do. I just needed to be. Stillness is the death of ego. When a man becomes still, he's letting love breathe. Can you hold his silence, or do you need his sound to feel safe? But, and this is critical, Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will. Direct your life and you will call it fate. Love reveals your unconscious, but if you're not ready, it can destroy you. Delilah, 34, met a man who did every one of these things. He stared, he wept, he kissed her wounds, and she ran. Why? Because she thought it was too soon, too intense, too vulnerable. And so she went back to safe lovers, lovers who didn't shake her core. 2 years later, she still dreams about him. And in her dreams, he turns away. Because the psyche punishes us when we betray soul-level love. Jung said it best. What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size. So ask yourself, have you been resisting love that's actually real? Let's recap. He stares at you afterward, not before. He tells you his wounds mid-intimacy. He touches your scars with reverence. He becomes still, not silent, but sacredly present. These aren't quirks. These are soul signs. And if you've experienced even one, you owe it to your heart to listen closer. Because Jung reminds us, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Save this for the nights when you doubt what love really is. Because sometimes, he's not touching your body, he's touching your fate. If this resonated with you, even one sign, don't scroll away. Subscribe right now if you're ready to explore the deeper layers of love, soulmates, and Jungian truth. Comment, I see the signs if you've ever felt this sacred connection. And share this video with someone who needs to know that love speaks through the body first. Because this isn't just a video, it's a mirror for the love you've always deserved. And you won't want to miss what's coming next.